Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Top 5 Tips. I'm Autumn, I'm a registered dietitian and owner of RD Nutrition. Today we are going to be talking about my top 5 tips for traveling with IBS. So here we go. So my number one tip, and if anything that you take from this video today, this is what I want you to hear. We need to make sure that we don't have all or none thinking during a trip or a travel experience. So by this, I mean your low FODMAP up until the day that you leave for your trip, and then everything goes out the window. It's much better to be safe and to plan out your trip than to guess and then put yourself in a situation where you're really hungry and all rules go out the window. It can be a mixture of both low FODMAP and high FODMAPs throughout your trip, but we're going to plan that out so that it's a little bit easier and that we don't regret it by the end of our trip. Okay, so that's number one. So number two means that we need to plan ahead. So my number 2 tip is let's plan ahead and figure out what we need to do for our trip. So I would like you to sit down and make an itinerary of what's going on throughout your travel days. And when you're at your location, whether you're in Mexico, BC, camping, wherever that's at, I want you to sit down and plan out what is going on. I want you to designate which meals you have the ability to eat, whether that's pre-making it, or if you are on location and you're able to make it yourself. What meals, breakfast, lunch, supper, snacks, what are the things that you can do so that you're making them during your travels? Count out those meals. There's of course going to be days where you want to go out, and we will talk about that in just a second. But there's also going to be days where are unplanned. So maybe it's travel, you're not quite sure where you want to stop, and then you have to have a backup plan for those days, okay? So plan it out. Number 3, take snacks. So from planning, now we need to actually be taking food. So I always talk to my clients about making sure that they have emergency foods on hand. This is like prepackaged items like FODdy foods. You can Google search them at foddyfoods.com and order some foods prior to you going. Granola bars, snack items, energy balls, that you can bring with you that aren't going to perish. And then second to that, make sure that you're bringing snacks that you can actually eat while you're on the trip, or even if you're on location. So for instance, like if you're in BC and you wanted to go for a hike, make sure that you're taking foods with you in your vehicle so that it's not a guessing game for during your hike or after your hike when you're really, really hungry. So pre-chopping veggies, pre-chopping fruits, even making some gluten-free muffins or some low FODMAP energy balls. Even trail mix will be a really good addition so that you have things ready to go. Number 4, when eating out, I want you to pre-plan. So the biggest thing that I talk to my clients about is Google searching what's around where you're staying. So if you're at a hotel, where's the nearest restaurants? Where's the nearest gluten-free restaurant? Where is the nearest grocery store? Where can you find some foods that are going to help you so that you have a few items on hand? And then what types of restaurants will you be going to in and around those areas? Once you get to the restaurant, first you can either pre-look up at their menu, or when you get there, scan the menu, see what might fit close enough to the low FODMAP diet. If not, try to modify. Ask them to use less seasonings, modify cauliflower to broccoli or carrots, if that's being a side dish, so that you actually are trying to minimize how much contamination that you might be getting in that mealtime. If you feel like it's just like, you know what, I don't want to care about this meal, my recommendation is to make sure that you're trying to maintain low FODMAP throughout other meals so that when you get contamination, that the reaction isn't going to be as severe. So my very last tip is try to maintain that balance of low FODMAP and contamination with high FODMAPs. And just when you plan out those meals, figure out which meals that you're okay with staying low FODMAP. Maybe you're taking breakfast and snacks, but lunch and supper can be a little bit more variable. plan those out so that you're at least staying some of your recipe or some of your meals as low FODMAP. So those are my top 5 tips. There will be a summary below. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, make sure that you're commenting or sending us a message. You can reach out to us at info@rdnutrition.ca or find us on any one of our platforms. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.